What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have an amazing episode for everyone today. The market had a pretty good day overall. Bitcoin fell a good amount, and then AMC also pulled back a little bit. In today's video, we're going to be going over everything that happened in the market today and the best plays to watch for tomorrow. Overall, we have an awesome video for everyone, so make sure to stick around to the end. But Tom, let's get right into today's video.
Yeah, today was actually a great day in the market. Like the market really recovered back up. Initially, we saw tech start to really sell off in the QQQ and the SPY both really started to tank off at the beginning of the market being open today. But then, man, all throughout the day, it just recovered right back up and tons of stocks did well today. Like Apple, they had a fantastic day. You know, we had a lot of these stocks that were recovering up nicely. You know, a lot of the growth stocks didn't do quite as well, but we saw the value stocks really start to turn around, like KO, banks like Bank of America and JP Morgan. Man, they really started turning around. And I think buyers are just coming in and they're starting to buy up some of these stocks at these lower levels. Like, you know, JP Morgan was at 167 and fell all the way down to like 147 in just like a week or two's time. So, you know, obviously there's a pretty big dip here on these bank stocks and a lot of these value stocks that really got killed while these growth stocks went up. But at the same time, we're not seeing the same type of growth out of those growth stocks, but still it's still good to see the overall market, like the SPY and the QQQ, going up as nicely as they did. These banks are definitely looking pretty good. And man, they came like right down to support. Like we had Bank of America, for example, pull like right down near that $38 support over the past couple days. We had JP Morgan come even better, like right down to that support, right around $147 to $150. Overall, it's been a pretty good, you know, day for all those stocks, like the bank stocks and the value stocks, like I said. But man, I'm not sure what the reasoning is for this turnaround. I'm not sure if it's something to do with like the interest rates or something from the Fed last week. It'll definitely be interesting to hear, you know, the reasonings going forward, or if it's just buyers buying up the dip. But man, definitely there's some type of big reason, I think, behind this. And I think the main thing right now is the interest rates. You know, they keep talking about the Fed raising them a little bit sooner than expected and sooner than expected. And I think that that's good for the banks and that they like that news. And what they didn't like was hearing Powell kind of like shrug off the inflation. But now that they're just kind of, I think we're hearing more news about the interest rates and how the Fed is going to eventually have to change them. And I think that that's going to be the thing that's going to help the banks is whenever that gets changed. But in the shorter term, I mean, anything can still happen. It was a good recovery day today, but that still doesn't rule out that we could go down tomorrow. There's a pretty solid resistance here on JP Morgan, right around like 151. So I think that there is potential for these to continue down. It just might not happen tomorrow or the next day, but I think it could still happen over the next few days to a couple weeks. We'll just have to see what happens, but there's definitely been some crazy news affecting these banks.
And then what's going on with Bitcoin? I see it's pulling back a good amount.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of crazy, actually. You know, Bitcoin has been coming down a lot, and man, it's coming all the way back down to that $30,000 support once again. And I have a bad feeling. It just looks like on the daily chart here on tradingview.com that the setup does not seem the best. And I'll say it kind of looks like a bearish setup, like we might end up breaking that 30,000 support and going to the downside, which is just a bad scenario overall. And, you know, you hate to see that level kind of get broken like that, but hopefully, you know, Bitcoin can start to turn around. But I know lots of people are talking about selling Bitcoin to buy AMC, and just overall, all the crypto market is kind of scaring investors right now, while all these growth stocks and tech stocks are starting to go up again. So I think that it's just another part of that transition that we're seeing with the market. And I think Bitcoin will still be good in the longer run, but in the shorter term, there's just been some bad news with China. And apparently today, China came out and they said that they were cracking down even more on the cryptocurrency. And they actually went ahead and extended a ban into a different part of their province. And then they ended up having to pretty much cancel all the Bitcoin mining there. And that's obviously terrible news. And, you know, we saw like Mara and Riot going down today, which are obviously stocks that move off of Bitcoin news. They both ended up going down today off of that. But overall, I mean, China's just been kind of being a pest we could say, I guess, with Bitcoin, coming out with like some bad news and just kind of like imposing mining bans and stuff like that. And I guess it's because that they're having problems like taxing and kind of regulating the currency.
Alrighty, and then Tom, what's going on with AMC? I know it pulled back a little bit today, but do you have any like levels or anything for us? Like overall, like if you just look at the chart, like it still is lingering close to its highs, but it looks like it is struggling a little bit right now. Do you have any levels or updates for us?
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting right around that kind of resistance around like 60 to like $63. And man, it just ended up tanking and going down today at open. It was just an unfortunate day. It kind of looked like it was poised to go up. Initially in pre-market, we saw some good movement, and then right at open, we just saw it completely sell off. And honestly, it seems like there's a really good support down here around 52.50. We didn't touch that yet today, but over the past couple days, that's been a pretty big level. And going back on like a 90-day, 15-minute, that level is definitely big. There's a bigger one obviously down here around $40, but hopefully we don't start to sell off, below anywhere below $50. That would be a bad thing to see. But $40 is a huge support down there. And then there's a big upper resistance, like I said, up here around 60 to like $63. So just keep that in mind over the next couple days. We're having a lot of problems breaking out. I think that when we do, though, we'll see a pretty big move if it ends up happening. But right now, there's just a really defined double top up there around 65, and we're just having too much trouble staying above this $60 resistance here too.
Sounds good. Well, let's get right into our member of the day and then the momentum plays. Today's member of the day is Matt L. Thank you so much, Matt, for always asking great questions on the videos, but also for joining the live streams and just being a great member overall. So thank you so much, Matt L. Thank you for everything you do for the community. But now let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. And with the first one, we have Apple.
Yeah, and with Apple, they're like having almost a double top up here, but make them break above 132.50. And whenever they do, it looks like it'll be a pretty big runner.
All right, and then with the next one, we have VIAC.
Viacom, go ahead and make them move up again and make them break up above $41 even. And that's going to be like the high of day today.
All right, and with the last one, we have PENN, PENN.
Penn Gaming, this one's actually looking pretty strong here if it can break above the 76.50 resistance.
All right, so we're watching these three plays for potential day trades tomorrow, only if they break above the levels Tom listed. So basically watch them tomorrow morning. If they break above the levels Tom listed, we like the setup. And then I also wanted to talk about the bot play today, Tom. PENN, the bot called out these 75 strike calls at around $259 today, and they ran all the way up to 310. If you want to trade with the bot and Tom and I every single day, you can click the first link in the description down below, and you will also save about $40 for doing that. The bot calls out daily options, trade ideas, every single day. We also have order flow bots and a ton of different bots, so definitely check it out. Like I said, we do have a coupon running, but now let's get right into the $5.7 million options trade for this week. And we are looking at the Wish 14 strike calls that expire this Friday, June 25th. So I'm going to lean towards that the smart money is longing these calls. I think I do see some potential with this one.
Yeah, I mean, I do too, actually. This is starting to really turn back to the upside. And, while AMC had a bad day today, Wish really started to run, and it looks like it's having a great day. And honestly, that $14 level looks like a very solid resistance. So if that gets broken, we might see a pretty big move again tomorrow. And man, I would not be surprised if they were longing this one either. It's a lot of money on this, but at the same time, there's definitely a lot of momentum, and they still have a few days till expiration. I know that that doesn't say a lot, but at least that there's a few days and it's not like a Thursday or something like that.
All right, and then we have, now let's get right into our questions from the previous episode, and we have Shaq saying, any feedback with Boeing? So let's check it out. BA, it had a really solid day today, Tom. I think the setup looks pretty solid. The next major resistance, I mean, you have a little bit of chop at 250, but the next major one for me is until like 255.
Yeah, I could see that as well. It seems like that 255 level is definitely, the more defined area. And anywhere between like 255 to 260 seems like that there's a lot of chop there. I will say I like Boeing. It looks like it came right off that 100 SMA on the daily chart, and it's kind of like held that along as it's been like stair stepping to the upside here. And I honestly really like Boeing for the longer run. I'm not too sure it's going to keep moving like this in the shorter term, but man, if we keep seeing the SPY and the QQQ ripping up like we saw today, I think that Boeing will continue up. And man, there's definitely a lot of momentum here on this on the daily level. I would say definitely make it move above the resistance above 246 tomorrow.
For sure. And then we have Patel saying Baba looking to break out of the pattern soon. I can definitely see it. I think Baba has a lot of potential to bounce back up. It's just been kind of like lingering at this 210 level for the past couple days, but I think there's a good shot that we bounce up.
Yeah, I think so too. It's down here right around support. And keep in mind, Baba's gotten beaten down over the past couple of years. And I think that like with China kind of getting off of their backs and stuff like that, I think it might help them kind of start to go up over the next couple months.
Sounds good. And then we just have a ton of questions with AMC. You know, Tom, like I'm looking through all these questions. So I think people want us to cover AMC a little bit more. Just one thing to keep in mind, you can love AMC. Just remember that IV or implied volatility is pretty high right now. So even if you do like AMC, most of the time it would be better to get shares rather than options because they are very expensive right now. You know, you can buy a pretty far out of the money call, the stock can go up and you can still lose. So it's totally fine to like AMC, but you know, just be smart about it. Most of the time it's better to go with shares. But Tom, do you have like any levels for us, or like anything, any types of trends, like anything you're seeing? Like I know it bounced down a good amount today. It did bounce off that $50 support, but anything you're seeing?
You know, I'll tell you on the daily level, it's almost looking like we're posting a little bit of a lower high right now. And I'm getting a little bit worried. I mean, we're having a lot of chop and a lot of failed breakouts around this like 60 to like $65 level. I think that that's being it's starting to pose as has a really big upper resistance for us. And man, whenever we're looking at stocks like AMC, you know, whenever they start reacting off of those upper resistances, the way that AMC has done, you know, off of like this $65 area, it sometimes that just shows you that the stock is just gonna have to stay below that until it breaks that. And man, I mean, obviously that, you know, that's the case here, but it's just one of those things where like we might start to see some more downwards movement until we start to see, you know, like a big break or like a big move back up and above that level. And I just think that for like the next couple of days, I think we might just need to be really careful. And I think a lot of traders might start to hop into like Wish or Mike, what was that one that was popular today?
TRCH.
Yeah, Torchlight. TRCH Torchlight was on fire today. They're even like running up in after hours. So maybe those might be like some better options for like the next couple days. I don't know, but it just seems like that they're kind of outperforming AMC at least over the past couple days. That doesn't mean AMC isn't going to keep ripping up or anything. And man, I love AMC. I hope it keeps going up, but in the shorter term, it's starting to not look too good.
All righty. Well, Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or anything you're watching for tomorrow?
Man, I mean, I'm still looking at all the tech stocks in the market. The QQQ was so strong today. The close at the end of the market or the end of the day was just so strong. It held all those levels, held that like 345 resistance as well, ended up holding up above that. And man, it's just looking like a prime example of like another runner for tomorrow. So definitely looking at a lot of tech stocks like Apple, Microsoft, you know, possibly even Tesla and NIO. You know, Tesla ended up being red today, but they had a pretty big recovery in the middle of the day and then kind of sold off at the end. But you know, still looking at them because they are kind of in that tech stock category. But man, we had a lot of them just ripping up today. Even though we had like AMD and Nvidia ended up being red, you know, the QQQ and just overall all the tech stocks overall did ended up doing pretty well, especially like Apple and Microsoft.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Like I said, if you want to trade with Tom, myself, and the bots, you can click the first link in the description down below. And if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. And come join Tom and I live at Market Open on the new Stocked Up live channel. The link for that will be in the description down below. But other than that, thanks for watching.